Last time, we found that it takes about 40 cheaters to beat 60 regular players on bad water. But on wide open maps that are even better for snipers, it should take even less cheaters to win, right? So I tried it again, this time on Foundry, Harvest, and Cascade. Foundry was harsh. Cheaters couldn't even exist for a minute. The sheer number of players means they just walk in and cap, even ignoring sentries. Blue continued to be stuck on last until 40 players. They could now hold second. Lobby wasn't possible, but the point itself was. Blue would abuse the point sightlines to hold every entryway from a very comfortable distance, so it was hard for Red to do much. This basically ended in stalemate, if not for a last-minute pub push that ended with Red winning. Somehow, after that, nothing changed until a fair 50v50. At 45, the initial mid-fight was still not doable. Lobby was held a bit longer, but still not anything permanent. And still, a stalemate on the second point. They needed 50 to finally cap mid for the first time. Second point was taken soon after that, while a chunk of Red was still dead. But surprisingly, that was it. The cheaters actually don't win. The Alamo does. Red stacked 28 engineers and managed to force a stalemate. The Wrangler makes chip damage meaningless. The short circuit stops spam. In case any serious damage was somehow actually done, the Rescue Ranger repairs it from safety. And most importantly, the Kazatsky kick for immense psychological torment. You could hear them going off constantly. But koth went much better for cheaters. On Harvest, it only took 20 to stop being hopelessly spawn camped, and 25 for Red to have basically already lost. That's because at 25, Blue got enough ground to take the hut. For now, they couldn't keep up with how many players they needed to kill, so Red eventually overwhelmed Blue again after some time. But this hut gives you control of the space outside the point, which then gives you sightlines to control the point, and from there, the win. Which is how it went. At 30, they now had control of every sightline from hut, which gave them their first cap. But they didn't have enough DPS to control the area around the point. That instead happened at 35. The strat was heavies and snipers. Heavies to deal with all the buildings and players in and around the point, then camp inside. Snipers to lock down the rest of the map. Red could Uber into the point to sometimes cap it back, but even if they took care of all the heavies, they didn't have a way of dealing with Blue snipers. So shortly after, they would get cleared out and recapped for Blue. Unable to establish any ground near the point, the cheaters were able to keep oppressing Red by abusing the sightlines until they won. I tried Cascade out of curiosity to see what if there's not even a house. So we started with 35 players on the cheater team, and from how Harvest went, the results aren't surprising. With how the map is laid out, Blue snipers can stand really far back and lock down the point. They're almost literally untouchable, so Red couldn't do much. Ubers were attempted, but Red wasn't coordinated enough to flood in together to overwhelm Blue. In the end, blue won without red ever capping once. So, turns out, wide maps, good for snipers. Sentries, good.
Killing spree.